Hello. Welcome to a brief episode with Baba Yooba, your friend, your brother, and also your servant in the work of the universe. Today, I will be sharing just a brief knowledge with you. And it is a question which you must answer daily as you live. It is a question that determines the rest part of your life. It is a question that determines your location, your friends, what you eat, what you wear, what you accept, and also what you reject. Most times people think that African spirituality is an avenue for one person who live behind civilization to dictate their life for them. That African spirituality is a way they can also zone the responsibility of human decision in the hand of Ifa. This is how the religion of Invaders became popular amongst us, because the religion of Invader gave you and I God, God, and they say when you want to take a step, you want to think for things that you need to do here. When you are hungry, when you need to do this and that, what you need to do is just to pray to this God, the guy in the sky, and everything will be all right. They got you to the point of also requesting for divine intervention, or a state where you practically sit or sleep away your life while you think that the angels are at work for you. They render you useless and also dehumanize you with several concepts: the concept of heaven, the concept of hell, the concept of rapture, the concept of afterlife, the concept of judgment day, the concept of breaking limits, the concept of divine intervention, as I mentioned earlier. Different set of concepts, and these concepts, all of them, have just one target, and the target is you. And what is it supposed to do for you? It is supposed to make you become a zombie, where you cannot live an extraordinary life without getting the approval of the invaders. Because if you go to the God that the invader gave to you, you are getting approval from the invaders. A lot of you look up to the sky to get directions. When you say you go for fasting and prayer, and you need to look up and you pray to God, right? You think the creator of a thing is outside a thing. You think that a tree can live outside of the spirit of the tree. You think that the water can flow outside of the spirit of the water. You also think in yourself that you can be a human being outside the thing that makes you alive. Somebody is asking if I smoke weed or something. I think that is derogatory and also very insulting. I don't smoke weed, and I will forgive you. I will forgive you for this purpose. I will just forgive you. Let it go. Now, it is a very strange and the highest point of illiteracy for you to think that what makes you a living thing is outside of you. So when a man is praying to a spirit or a God that makes him or her a human being, a living being, but believe that this thing that makes you a living being is located outside of you, such a man need no redemption. We just need to whip them with the cane of truth, because you're as good as dead if the engines that keep you running is located outside of you. I'll give you that analogy. So the concept of the sky god is for the fools. The fools believe in the God in the sky. Why? They think this God in the sky is the spirit that makes them a living being. However, whatever makes you a living being is also located outside of you. Now, it's like saying the operating system that makes this phone run is located outside of the system. When the operating system that makes, when the engine that makes a car run is located outside of the car, what is that car used for? It is useless. Now, African spirituality is not all about thinking everything has to be divine. Sometimes you need to also use your common sense. The inability to reason outside the box and think deep is the reason why people will take you for granted all the days of your life. We will not deny the ability to see the unseen and hear the unheard, but we will also come to terms that sometimes most of the things that we are looking for outside of us or unseen realm has been manifested in the same realm, and we need to just be a critical thinker. I have a group of friends. We are on a certain platform together, and we call ourselves 1 million seekers. We seek to understand the universe. We seek to understand the way nature works. We ask questions. We probe minds. Now, you of all beings, the set of human beings we have, are the only creature of this planet that believes that what keeps them running is located outside of them. A dog is not looking to be more than a dog. A dog does not believe that the power that makes him back or our back is located outside of him. And so the dog does not worship a god in the sky. The dog simply live out the rest of his or her days being a dog. The reason why you are called human being is that you can be human. But we are called human being while we are trying so hard to be a celestial being. And so the white folks understand that part of us, and they gave us a celestial God that we will always crave for and look for. It is not about being supernatural. It is knowing that being human is super enough. Now you realize that the more you live your days out trying to be the best of yourself in your area of endeavors, the universe releases to you necessary tools and necessary accessories for you to become the best of yourself. Now there, you realize that you are not outside of the universe, and the universe is not outside of you. And whatever makes you and the universe one is what makes you the total entity or a perfect reflection of the universe. So a God is not a thing that lives in the sky. A God is not a thing that lives up there. A God is what you are. Because a God that keeps you a living being, that makes you a living being, is not outside of the living being that he made, or she made, or it made, or whatever it is that we want to use to qualify. Now, you realize that if what makes you you is living inside of you, then you are you, or you are what makes you you. And that goes back to this equation of saying that you are the God that you are looking for. You are the God that you are looking for. And it's a matter of defining your own value. What is your value in life? What would you say your value is in life? So I'm going to tell you a story. For those who think that their value is dependent on how much tithe they pay. Some people believe that the value of their life is dependent on how many times in a year they go to Ocean River. Some has tagged themselves as being valued according to the number of the amount of money in their bank account. Value should not be substantial. The value of who you are should not be prized, tagged, equated to anything, or become a substance that can be priced down or priced up. A lot of people come to me and say, when you told me to do this and that, I got result of what I'm looking for. And they want to start a new religion by wanting to serve the recommended procedure I gave to them. And I said, if you watch very well, you realize that the African spirituality that I herald to you and become a crusader of is not a religion. When I say African spirituality, I mean the word spirituality in all sense of it. No substance, no religion. No substance, no religion. And in a case where you want an idol to worship, you have depreciated your own value to the level of whatever it is that you have substantiate your own self to become. And so the subject or the event of bowing down to a carved tree, a graven image, a certain monumental structure, or mineral resources does not arise in the kind of African spirituality that I practice so far. You are a living being becoming human. A water is a living being becoming water. You have your own advantage in this universe, and they also have their own advantage. If you as a human do not make a water clean, it will be polluted. It will lose its fervor, its aura, and its energy. If the water in the universe does not quench your thirst, hear what you say, be intelligent to you, then it also deprives you of what you need. A servant does not try to claim dormitory or domain or terrain. You are not serving water. You are not serving the earth. You are not the worshipper of the sun like the Christians. You are not the worshipper of the moon like the Muslims. You don't worship the air. Even though it might be prevalent in your element, you use them to your advantage. I don't want misconception. And I'm trying my best to lay a good foundation so that maybe tomorrow you hear I'm dead. You will not build on false foundation. There is no need for us to create a religion out of African spirituality again. It's not going to be sitting well with other folks who practice this way of life because they feel retaining the sacred knowledge and understanding of the universe is going to be their own money ritual where you bring money all the time. I am not giving you recommendations so that you can serve water. I give you recommendations so that you can maximize the potential of water. I speak to you so that you can maximize your own potential also. If you are of the element of water, what I teach you is how to make water be at your service. Without you lording your will over water, you don't pollute water and expect it to serve you. You don't colonize water and expect it to serve you. You do not trample on the right of other elements of the universe and expect that they will serve you willingly to their best of ability. I teach you how to coexist with other elements of nature so that the question of living things and non-living things does not arise in you. And so you don't devalue yourself to the point whereby you bow down to a tree and you believe that it is the tree that answers your prayer. And I'm going to tell you something today that nothing answers your prayer but you. You are the answerers of prayer, if there's a word like that. I don't teach you so that you can go and bow down to water bodies. If I recommend to you to go to Osun River, I recommend that you go and meet one of the priestesses there to administer the ability of that water to heal you. I will never tell you to go and worship Osun River. That's how they tell us that we are animist or we are backward. We must understand that one servant or one element of the universe, a subset of a set is not bigger than other subset in the set. So if all things are living, if all things can talk, if everything is intelligent, one intelligence is not better than the other. The only way where it will occur to you that one thing is more intelligent than you are is because you have not been able to master it or be able to understand how to relate with it. And so the depreciation of value is prevalent amongst mankind, white, black, Latin, whatever you call yourself, as long as you are mankind. Because what you do not understand how to make use of, you adore, you worship, you idolize. Idolatry does not exist in African spirituality. You can go to any shrine and go bow down to this metal, bow down to that, and all of those things. I'm not going to give you a shrine to come and bow to. I can give you a recommendation of where to go because we believe the energy is well concentrated in that part, but I will not make you a slave of iron metal, even though iron metal signify the energy of Ogun, which is the energy of victory. I'm not going to make you a slave of a molded rock or a stone, even though it signifies the energy of equity. For those who do not understand, do you have any, you can study rocks, you can study stones. You need to go and study the component of stones. And your ancestors who are Africans understand all of those things. So I would not tell you to bow to a shoe. Because whenever I tell you to go and bow to something, except yourself, I have depreciated you to be lesser than other subset of the whole set, which is the universe. My words might not be clear to the layman and those who have a low level understanding of what the universe is, but I will try to bring it. Now, determining your own value has to do a lot with you and you alone. And it starts with the decolonization from every form of religion, no matter how revered or how sacred it may be. Religion ultimately takes you back into the slavery that you are running away from. It doesn't matter how it is presented. Religion puts shackles on your heads and also change in your mental capacity such that you do not think for yourself. Religion is the situation whereby someone who understood a certain mystery of life tried to make ends meet with it by constantly hiding it from you and giving you a tip of it. I'm not here to tell you what a true Babalawo or a false Babalawo is, but I'm telling you this thing codedly so that you can be able to understand what you are all for. For those who are signing up to practice African spirituality, you must not let go of your self-confidence and your ability to query things. Somebody said, when I call the name of Jesus, miracle happened. Why? I ask. He said, because it is written in the book of so and so. I think Philippians chapter 2 verse whatever. There are the mention of the name of Jesus every knee shall bow. I said, now the letter was written to the Philippines, not to you. You are an African person. And aside that, you believe that all power belongs to this Jesus. Thank you. I said, I have another friend who believed that when they call Ya Allah for many times, miracle happened. I said, I live amongst people who believe that when they go to Oshun River, call Shango, miracle also happen. But to you, in the limitation of your own knowledge, you believe that all power belongs to your Jesus alone. In believing, you have put a value that is substantial on yourself, a substance value on yourself. And the moment a thing becomes a substance, it starts losing value, it starts depreciating. Every concept you have starts here. The moment you materialize a concept, an update is required. if not a new version. So believing in a thing, those who believe as actually, they have actually zoned out every other possibility. And they have depreciated themselves or limited themselves to the data they have gathered so far to make them believe that. So you have been devalued and depreciated or reduced to the level of that man you said came to this world 2,000 plus years ago, a dead person. That's your belief. And you will never be able to amount to anything beyond the boundary of belief system you have set for yourself. I say same to Allah. Same to those who say the culture go and all that and things happen. I said, but there is a miseducation somewhere. It is not Shango that we call. It is the method through which Shango engages in the other element, with the other element of nature that we assess. It is not Ogun that we call. We are not worshipping those folks because we understand we cannot devalue ourselves to their limitation. It is the method through which Ogun achieves secret victory that we approach. And so we also believe that we can do even much more than the person of Ogun, because the method he uses with us. And every method is subject to upgrade. It has its limitation. When we approach the Oshun, it is not Oshun as a woman that we are looking for. It is the method that Oshun used to become monumental and solve problems during our days that we approach. And consequently, we realize that we are the one doing all of these things. So it is not Oshun that is giving us what we want. It is not Shango that is giving us. It is we taking responsibility first by learning how they did it, doing it the way they did it, and also doing it the way the universe is telling us to currently get it done. So it is not the name of your Jesus that brings happiness and miracle. It is not your Allah that brings it. It is you. And there is such a power called the power of the mind. Whatever you apply it to, it is for you according to how you believe. I have a bottle of water here. I can do miraculous with this water by the way I treat it, by the way I fondle it, just by wrapping my hands around this water. The water is hearing what I'm saying. The water has some molecular structure within it, which can be represented in human body as cells that stores information. So when somebody is insane and I speak to this water, calling water what it hears, with some other few information that I'm not releasing today, the person who is mad, if I sprinkle it on it, can regain their sanity. If there's a person who is having leprosy or some kind of skin diseases, there are other words I speak to this water for the purpose of skin disease. I do not worship this water. I do not believe that this water is beautiful or more intelligent than I am. I take advantage of the power that the water holds, knowing fully well that the water cannot heal other people if I am not present. So the water needs me to maximize its potential. I need the water to do what I desire. So when we tell you to go and pray by the water side, we are not telling you to pray to water. We are telling you to maximize the power that water has. So you do not depreciate yourself to this water. So the water does not depreciate itself also to you. Everybody have their independent way of running and also independent way of valuing themselves. The water that is drunk will finish. If you have depreciated yourself to this level of water, you will finish alongside with it. In the dry season, some water can dry up. Imagine that is your source of refuge. Imagine that is what you think you serve, something that dry up. So I'm saying the understanding of the universe is not creating a God concept for yourself. It is understanding that every subset are the same. One is not greater than the other. And the subset are perfect reflection of the set. So the universe contains water, and water contains the universe. The universe is not different from water. The water is not different from the universe. Just like this bottle right now. As of now, without the bottle, the water cannot hold. As of now, without the water, the bottle is useless. This is the universe. The water in it is you and I, a content. And then when we begin to now say the water exists outside the bottle, then we are saying the water is dead, cannot be held, can dry up, can be evaporated. So the water does not worship the bottle. The bottle does not worship the water. They simply live in harmony and synchrony. So the concept of serving a God in the sky does not arise, because the God that made you is you that is made. Am I teaching? Are you confused? The God that you say made you is you that is made. And the concept of trying to now say, okay, I worship you, water, I worship you, sun, will take you back to the cave mentality. The misunderstanding that the invaders had about our fathers, who were barely or merely just expressing what they could sense spiritually using artistic medium. So our ancestors would have understanding of the energy to float on the storm and overcome. And they are looking for a certain element of nature that can represent or illustrate what they have understood, and they will draw the eagle, one of the most rugged birds. They will draw the eagle. When they want to talk to you about having strength over the storm and riding over your problem, they point you to the eagle, because the presence of this low-level language that I speak to you with today does not exist. So when the invader saw us pointing to the eagle, pointing to the snake as wisdom, as healing, because the poison of the snake can kill you. The poison of the snake is what will be used to also heal you. So you will never find a medical practitioner or a medical center without the symbol of the snake till today. Even the invaders learned that from us. So when we approach this element, imagine me speaking to water. Oh ye water, the energy that flows and heal. I request from you healing for a mad person today. Nítorí kankan kan lè wé mọ́njó ní wàràwàrà báyìí lọ́mọ ikú dé tó kó èṣìṣì bọ̀. Ilé ògbà ọ̀nà ògbà, ìní ṣe wí àràgbà. I'm speaking the language of nature now. Kóṣe báyìí ní tẹ̀lá kọ̀ṣẹ́ ẹ̀mú ìmúrin tì lágbẹ̀dẹ. You realize all those things we call incantation are simply language of nature, because our fathers kept talking about other elements of nature and their characteristics, what they perform as factual statement to the universe, for us to test ourselves by the universe that we know what we are looking for. And so the water begin to now do what I asked you to do. And the Veda is looking at me and saying, why is he talking to water? Because he lacked the understanding of how to talk to water. And so devalue me and call me an idol worshiper. And tell me, thou shalt not bow down to any graven image. We are not bowing down to graven image. We are not archaic. If there's any concept of bowing down to graven image, the invaders brought it. So they bowed down to Ptolemy, which is called Jesus. They bowed down to Mary and all that. So they told your own forefathers, who are your ancestors, who were not bowing down before, that the best way to worship is to bow. And your fathers in the village started bowing down to graven image, because their ancestors weren't bowing down to graven image. And the process of devaluation started to set in, where a human thinks that is inferior in power to other elements of nature. So we worship water. So we worship fire. So we worship trees. So we worship sand. So when we also see a man that know what we do not know, instead of us to ask them, how are you doing it? I want to learn. We also worship them. So those ones will now tell us that touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. So when they even rape your daughters and also sleep with your wives and take your money away, you think they are men of the God that cannot be touched. A babalawo can be touched. Just today, while starting this broadcast, one of you told me that am I smoking weed trying to insult me? A lot of you say a lot of things to me. If I can't take it anymore, I just block you. Sometimes when I'm in the mood to play with you, I just silly. But that you don't have right to express yourself, that's a fallacy. And I would not, because of you being rude to me or touching my nerves, now go to invoke what is evil against you. It's a freedom of. In this way of life, you must allow freedom of expression. In expressing yourself, you are telling me your value. So when you come and you become unruly without courtesy, that is the value you want me to place on you. If you come to me and you respect me, I will place you a value of respect in return. We must understand that in this life, we all determine our value. So this story I wanted to tell you, let's go back to it. One day, Okpele came to Orunmila. And Okpele wanted to find out his own value. Baba, báwo mo ṣe jẹ́, kí ni mo jẹ́ tán, who am I? What is my value? What is my essence? And Orunmila said, do you want to know your value? I said, yes. He said, I will teach you a lesson. Take 2 stones, just 2 stones, ordinary stone. As you leave my house now, take 2 stones. Go to the roadside, sit down by the roadside. People will come to you, they want to come and buy the stone because everybody sells by the roadside. When anyone comes to you, just raise up your 5 fingers. Don't say a word. When they ask you how much is a stone, raise your 5 fingers. Let's go relative now. So he went to the roadside by the side of the local market, having picked the 2 stones, just 2. And truly people came to him and asked, how much is this stone you are holding? Surely you want to sell it. It's ordinary stone, right? But nobody knows. And Okpele raised up his 5 fingers. He didn't say a word. 5 fingers. And the person who asked him said, oh, you want to sell it for $5,000 out, 500. And Okpele was surprised. Ordinary stone, $500. He said he's not selling again. He ran back to Orunmila and said, Orunmila, the stone I picked in front of your house, are they gold? He said, no. Those are the stones I took to the roadside. Somebody want to buy it for $500. Okpele, being a Nigerian man, converted it quickly to Nigerian NAIRA. That's a lot of money. Orunmila said, okay, I want you to take the same stones, take them to a museum. Take them to a museum. Stay by the exhibition. When people come to you, raise up your 10 fingers. Okpele did the same thing. Somebody came to Okpele and said, you want to sell this stone? This must be artifact. This must be this must be that. Started giving so many archaeological names. And Okpele did not see anything. How much is it? Did like this. And the man who was asking said, oh my, oh my, oh my. You want to sell this archaeological artifact for the price of $500,000? I'm going to buy it. Let me buy it. $500,000. From $500 to $500,000. Okpele almost fainted. What is happening to me? He said he's not selling again. He ran back to Orunmila and said, Orunmila, somebody wanted to buy that stone for $500,000. I'm a billionaire according to Nigeria standard. You know Okpele is a a Nigerian man. And Ormila said, it's good that you didn't sell it. Now take the same stone, go to a treasure shop, a place where they sell treasure stone, precious stones. Go to it. When the man asks you how much you want to sell this stone, just use your finger to be doing like this. And Opele went. And the moment he presented the stone to the jeweler, the man started weeping, crying, telling him so many stories of how his fathers, grandfathers, forefathers before have searched for this same stone, how he will buy it at any cost. Brother Okpele, how much do you want to sell this stone? He started doing like this. He first did like this and did like this, did like this. And the man said, oh, you mean you are going to sell it for me for $5 trillion? Just $5 trillion? I will buy it today. Let me write you a check. And Okpele was amazed. $5 trillion? For the stones I pick in front of Orumila's house. Ordinary stones. Ordinary stones. $5 trillion? Wọ́n lọ lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ kwari o. And Okpele sold the stone for $5 trillion. Came back to Orumila. Orumila said, you messed it up. You messed it up. If you had come to me, I would have told you to take it to another place. However, I was expecting that you will use your own initiative to add more value to that stone. And Okpele said, it's even enough. Why are you teaching me this lesson? I want to know my own value, but you are telling me to sell stones. And Orumila said, sit down. Said, your value in life is not determined by others, but you. How much you place on yourself is how much people will place on you. He said, how do you now determine your own value? By the location you find yourself, by the presentation you give to yourself, and by the people you present yourself to. When you took the same stone to the roadside, it was priced on the roadside level. When you took it to a museum, it was priced at a museum level. And now you took it to a jeweler store where they sell precious stones. It was priced at a precious level. They said a lot of human beings live their life, presenting themselves to every Dick and Harry. A lot of people live their life taking it as its goals and just allowing chances and time to happen to them without putting a value or defining themselves. To a woman out there who has settled for less, for a man who beats you daily, it is the value you placed on yourself. To the man out there who is struggling under one boss when you should be the boss of your own self, it is the value you placed on yourself. To one or two of you out there who is still paying tithe and offering and allowing your pastor or imam to mess your life up, it is the value you placed on yourself. And to those who still go to Babalawo, that will keep taking from them, sleeping with them, messing them up, telling them to go and worship water, worship this and that, not telling them that speaking to water, engaging the power that these things have, is what African spirituality is all about. It is the value you placed on yourself. Remember that I use stones. A stone will be ordinary until you place a value on it. But it is not that the stone is ordinary. The stone has value. It is how you approach it that matters. So somebody will see water for drinking alone. Somebody can only bath their body with the water. This water. Somebody can only cook with it. But I can do fantastic, mystical, and spiritual things with it. The value of the water is beyond what you place on it. It now depends on how you maximize this water, either to be a healing to your body or just to quench your thirst. So this is a stone we took to the roadside. In the hand of a swimmer, it is just something that makes you flow. This is the stone we took to the riverside. In the hand of somebody that is looking for a god to worship, it is an idol. This is the stone we took to the precious stone shop. In the eyes of people like us who practice African spirituality, it is an extremely intelligent being that can heal you, that can cure you of madness, that can make your way prosperous, that can bring back sanity to you, that can cure your skin diseases, that can do fantastic things. This water. And irrespective of it, we had the Okpele. And this stone, which is the water, is at our mercy. So we don't worship the stone. We give value to the stone. We don't worship the water. We give value to the water. Why do we do that? Because we know that water itself is valuable. We are not water worshiper, idol worshiper, stone worshiper, metal worshiper. We understand what these things can do for us, and we choose to give value to them. What is your value? And how much value are you placing on yourself as African spiritualist? How much of understanding of the universe and the element or the subset of this set are you trying to understand? Are you taking enough time away from the old crowd and the so-called chaos world called civilization to understand that everything is valuable? Are you putting the right price and tag on them? That if the things you can manipulate can be this valuable, that you are also extremely and extensively valuable as a person. So you can't have sex with just any other person. You can't allow any other person to hug you. You can't shake everybody. You can't be everywhere. You can't wear anything, just anything. You can't eat just any food. You can't even speak just anyhow. That you are a sacred being, the exact replica of the universe, and the universe is not outside of you. The universe is in you, and you are in the universe, and you are the universe that you need. What is your value? Are you living such a valuable life that when you die tomorrow, those who are coming behind you will also pour veneration to you and say, he did his best. He maximized his potential. Nothing was hidden from him. Nothing was hidden from her. Can you be of good memory when you are gone? Can your memory bring healing to us? What is it that you are researching? What you are trying to find out? What is it that you are bringing? What are you trying to invent? Can the people who come after you are gone still recollect your name and say he did what he should? And we will continue from where it stopped. For if Ogun did not do his best, we will not pour him veneration today. For if Oya did not do her best, we will not remember them today. For if Oshun did not do her best, we will not gather together in her memory today. Not to worship her, but to honor her. If Shango did not do his best, we will not go back and keep understanding how electricity works today. These are men like you and I, but with understanding that they are more valuable than becoming a tally to the world population. When we count the whole world, then we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Yewande, 11, 12, 13, 14, Baba Yooba, 17, 18, 19, Abolaji. Would you stand out? Would you be picked out? Not as a number, but as a human who become and who did all he could or she could. So when you come to Ifa, Ifa tells you about who you are and encourages you to become the best what you can be. Pushes you and nudges you to the place of realization. Ifa is not the same thing as your God, the sky god, who tells you, come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden, I will give you rest. Ifa tells you, come unto me, all ye that are confused and do not know the way to go, I will give you a procedure to follow. When you follow it, you get the result. If you don't follow it, it's on you. It's just on you. African spirituality is not an irresponsible lifestyle. It's not another excuse to shelve yourself away from responsibility. It is in taking responsibility for your life, consequences, and the things you do that brings out the value in you. What value are you sharing with mankind? How valuable are you? Are you just a follow-go kind of person? No. So a couple of people that have come to me, I've tried my best to help hundreds of people have a private and personal shrine that they can carry around, a certain spot in their home to access the universe and to manipulate things for their own favor, releasing the secret in their hands, giving them freedom, helping them to graduate as long as they can pay the price. That this is how to use water, this is how to use fire, this is how to use this. When this and this happen, next time this is what you are supposed to do. When this and that happen, and gradually, they are also multiplying this knowledge of nature. They are always. And what I don't know, they have maximum potential to teach me. What they don't know, I have all the right to introduce them to it. African spirituality is about sharing ideas with one another, appreciating ourselves, but not defining ourselves. I can define you by giving you an idol to worship. So definition is when you reduce a thing to your best of understanding. You are, in African spirituality, supposed to be unlimited in access and possibility. Unlimited in access and possibility. Your possibility should not be determined ever. Ever. So what is the value of your life? What is the value of your life? Few minutes I will take some questions and then we'll call it a day. This broadcast will be made available on other social media like YouTube and the rest. And you can always come back to listen to it. If you learn one or two lessons from there, you can share with your friends and family. It corrects a lot of notion and misconception around them. Somebody is asking, what's your thought on marijuana? Marijuana is an herb, just like every herbs in the world. Marijuana is an herb that is able to intoxicate you. There's nothing spiritual about marijuana, but the temperament of marijuana is to intoxicate you. It is to intoxicate you. Intoxicate you positively and negatively. If I'm in the legislation, I will not ban marijuana, but I will teach people widely how to use marijuana. I don't smoke anything. I don't smoke cigarette. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't puff anything. I have friends who do that. I don't condemn them. I only wish they know what they are doing. I don't drink any alcohol. In all my divination so far, I would rather replace alcohol with water. If we have to pour libation, I use my water. If I have to pray for you, I use water. See, listen. People think when we know our element that it is limited to us. It is not. Water element cannot work well with fire element. Water element can only work with the earth element. It is on earth you see water. It is inside the earth you see water. Without the earth, the water cannot exist. So the water will nourish the earth, and earth will bring out fruit and plants, medicine. The earth will house the water and allows the water to also flow because it cannot defy gravity. It is from the earth that we get marijuana as a plant. So whatever we want to use the earth elements for the produce of the earth, we must match them with water. So when you take some weed, marijuana, so to say, in a jar bottle, leaves, fresh one or dried one, in a jar bottle, and you fill it up with water, allow it to stay overnight. Don't put it inside your own room. Put it on your roof, outside where dew should cover it because of germs and all that. But let dew at least be on the container. And you take a sip, maybe once or twice a day. It will nourish your body. Why? Because you combine the elements together effectively. You are using the element of water that nourish the earth to bring about all the nutrients of the produce of the earth. It will nourish your body. It will nourish your body and give you the right mental alertness. When you will not misbehave or get intoxicated, or begin to lose control of your own senses. But when you use the element of fire as a combination to the produce of the earth, by burning it, it reacts negatively in your body. So all those angels that you are seeing, orí ẹ̀ ló ti ń yí yẹn o, ọjọ́ kan ó dẹ̀ máa knock. So when you see somebody who smoke this, smoke that, and all, run mad, I'm telling you the reason. Somebody say a jar bottle. Should we put water? Yeah. You first take those leaves, put it inside the jar bottle and fill it up with water. Close it. Put it outside your house overnight for dew to come. You are effectively taking out the nutrients and the messages. Everything is configured. There are molecular structure in everything. If you introduce a poisonous element to another element that doesn't work together, somebody is saying I don't reply my WhatsApp. I reply my WhatsApp. It's only me one. It's only one of me. I will get to you. Please just take it easy. If you know that 2 or 3 days I'm not replying you, please send another message so that your message can come up on the traffic. There are a lot of hundreds of messages I tried to crash them. They fill up again and all that. They fill up again. So if yours is emergency, make sure that every single day you are sending hello, aboruboye, aboruboye. Some of you just sending aboruboye. That's how you go and sleep. Because I was created for you, Abi. Because it's your problem I should die for. I told you I have my whole life too. So if you are serious about it, keep disturbing me, I will get to you. I will get to you. Are you getting my point? So I'm not saying koni boma mugwe. Ngori eba daru. Wama. Introducing an element which is in its own right good, perfect, to another makes them conflicting. They begin to react negatively in your body. Now we are making cars in this modern age that doesn't smoke. We are making engines that don't smoke. But human beings are devising ways to be smoking. Mi ní kó ní gbó má mú gbó ẹ̀ o, kó ní gbó mú gbó ẹ̀ torí ẹ bá ti knock èmi ò kí ń wo wèrè. Mi kí ń wo wèrè. Mo kàn lè point ẹ sí irú ọjà tó lè lọ máa ti máa display, go there and display. Torí mò ń sọ fún ẹ̀sìn. Now a certain guy I was saying the other time, doing Yahoo and all that, using ladies and all that. Don't know all these silly babalawos. They don't have a lady to use anymore. His friend collided together to use him. They say, come. I said, I'm not coming. Eventually, when I said, let me even calm him down, because he's always crying. Immediately, I got to the place where I go to work for the guy looked at me and he died immediately. I didn't shed no tears for him. I just entered my car and went back. I told you anyway. So this thing, tó bá fẹ́ mu igbó, wọ́n máa ń mu igbó ni wọ́n ìfagbó. Tó ń gbọ́ kó yóò bá lọ lé ẹ dáadáa, wọ́n máa ń mu igbó ni wọ́n ìfagbó. A sì máa ń tá bá ti pè ní mímu omi la fi mú. Half money. It's like using tablet. Most of these things that are condemned to be used directly are also used to make all this Western medicine. But you are allowed, you are told to use them with water. It's you people that will combine loud with this and they call something. Is it Chrysler or Risla? What do you? I'm not condemning you or smoke what you want to smoke, but I'm saying to Obati Yilori, we are creating engines that don't smoke. You human beings are taking the smoke inside of you. We complain of ozone layer depletion. We are saying there will be rapture, the world will come to an end because human beings will make this earth stop living by our lifestyle. Think about your lungs, those who smoke. Think about your liver, those who drink. I'm saying there is nothing Ifa will do for you when you begin to experience all these form of health disease. Abi, something that is not a spiritual thing. You killed yourself now. We can only wish you a happy reincarnation. Somebody say loud isn't marijuana. It's a substance. One of the people using it is lecturing us that is not this thing. Me, I am very clueless about substance abuse and substance use. I don't drink ordinary cigarettes. I don't even drink alcohol of 1%. That's me. So if I meddle it together, it's because I'm ignorant, I'm an illiterate, I'm uneducated about substance abuse and use. So I'm just saying my own. Let's try and see if we have other questions. Somebody said, but there are some herbs that can only be harnessed using fire, especially those incense. Will you now be smoking incense inside of you? Is incense meant for smoking? Is it for ingestion of human body? You see, when we smoke, when we have to use fire on the certain herbs, we administer it also with water again. What we call filole muko. They will say drink it with pap, drink it with yogurt, and all of those things. And if something had to get to your body and we have to smoke it or roast it or fry it or dry it by fire, we administer it straight directly into your bloodstream by incision. By incision. We allow it to communicate straight with your bloodstream. Our fathers are scientists now. What are you telling me? They are scientists. They know what they are doing. Somebody is saying, how long does it take to learn African spirituality and what price does one pay? You can't pay a price for African spirituality. And it has no duration. You will learn till you die. You will learn till you die. How can you know the whole universe? How can you understand the whole universe? What price, how much can you possibly pay to understand the universe? Maybe the price of your loneliness. Some of you will get divorced when you try to follow this path. Some of you will lose your job. Maybe those kind of prices. Those things are not monetary. They are prices that will cost you tears as a man. You don't know what most of us lost. I don't want to tell you, I don't want to explain to you what things I have to lose to be here. They are not things you can use money to buy. Somebody says people always want to take shortcut. Okay, someone is asking, Kato Reborn is saying, is there a creation story in our traditional religion? Yeah, there is a mythical creation story, but I don't believe in it. I simply don't know how it come into being. And I will not give credit to something I don't know actually created the world. No, I always tell you, when you say you don't know, the possibility of knowing arises. And nobody can kill you for not knowing what you don't know. But if your explanation to me is a folklore and a myth, I'm not a King Takati child now. There's such a folklore. Somebody wants to explain something out. You don't know is you don't know. A dog does not bother itself by knowing how it came to be. Elephant is not in the jungle thinking of how was I created as elephant. Plants are not thinking of how they came into being. Why are you bothering? What was your problem? Why are you bothering yourself? Why do human beings bother themselves about things they have no explanation for? Because you have no explanation, you now create a folklore around it, and you now begin to now condescend things that are sacred into a point of Iruwa Ogewa, all are sundry. I don't believe in that creation story. Whatever creation story. What is different between those who say, is he Orunmila Obatala that came, Orunmila, whatever, and started spreading sand and chicken, and those who say in the beginning God created the heaven and earth? Was it there? The Moses that wrote that, was it there? Lori Iro, Lori everything, Lori Ironi. The things we can prove, let's just stay put. The experiment we have ascertained that is good, let's just stay put. Let's concentrate on being human, being a human. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, Lori Iro. And the earth was without this thing, and the Spirit of the Lord moved over the earth. Lori Iro. Iro panta udubante ojo kejogo iro buruku. And Jesus evaporated into the sky to come again. Lori Iro. Elijah sent down fire from heaven. Oh, you believe that one? You don't believe that Shango can put fire? Lori Iro. And Moses was killed, and the Lord hid him, and no one saw. Lori Iro. This is my body broken for you. As you eat it, remember me. You are eating human being, but you say those who are eating chicken when they Lori Iro. Touch not my anointed. Do my prophet no harm. On lie. And David killed Goliath with one stone. On lie. Come to my church, you'll be wealthy. On lie. Ìrọ́pọ̀, ó ti pọ̀ jù. Kí ló dé ẹ̀dẹ̀ mú gbẹ́lẹ̀ káàkiri? We are going to break your limit. Come to this limit breaking service at Shiloh on lie. Covenant day of prosperity, Lori Iro. The dead shall rise again, the lame shall walk, the deaf shall talk. Lori Iro. The people that are telling you that they can heal the deaf to talk and all that, do you know that Adeboye is also hired the service of an interpreter for the deaf and dumb? If we can heal the deaf and let the dumb speak, why is he hiring interpreter for those who are dumb? Why didn't he just allow them to heal and talk to them directly? Lori on lie. Ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ń kówó ẹ̀ lọ ìbá bá ńlá irọ́ burúkú. Lórí irọ́. As I took that anointing oil, everything just I started manifesting. I started speaking in tongues. Lekreboto, limalaga, ratakamaya mobo shialala, wulika bati bobo rebukilo on lie. Lórí irọ́. Nígbà tí mo lọ sí feet wash yẹn báyìí, the moment they wash my feet, everything just disappeared. On lie. I've been waiting for the fruit of the womb for the past 15 years. Our Father in the Lord just lay hands on me. On lie. Ó ti pọ̀ jù, irọ́ pọ̀. But if they don't lie to you, will you stay with them? You won't. You won't drop money. Oje Marina fẹsẹ̀gún gòkè ibẹ̀ má ṣe jẹ́, irọ́ ti pọ̀ jù, ìgbẹ́yìn pọ̀, ẹ̀kan máa mú gbẹ́lẹ̀ káàkiri, múlẹ̀ anyhow, no shame, mú gbẹ́lẹ̀. That one says somebody went into airport toilet in Germany and landed in France. The other person that told him, he said he was smoking igbo when he was saying all those things. Your pastor said it's a miracle. On lie. Marriage is honorable, bed on the fire. Open your wife's body. Let us know if she's a virgin. On lie. Lórí irọ́ náà ni. I paid my tithe. A multi-billion-dollar contract came to me and I did not apply for it. Lórí irọ́ pọ̀. Ó ti pọ̀ jù. So you will come to us. We will take you to Obatala, Obatasa, Obatakutaku Ode Ranje, because we know how to call the energy. You will now have a child. At the end of the day, you will now say, praise Master Jesus. On lie. Irọ́ pọ̀. I'll leave you for today. People are laughing. Do you know that if we are lying here, we will be more than this? Wait until we will not even lie. So somebody will come to me and say, why are people not following your message? How to know you are speaking the truth? Majority will not like what you are saying. People came to me and say, how can you help me heal autism? There was a man who promised me. He said, I cannot heal autism. Give your child a better teacher. Stay with them. Understand them. They are trying to understand you. You too condescend and go and understand them. Lie. But the moment you tell them, if I give you this water, no, it's on lie. A person who is of a marriageable age refused to marry, and it's not even wanking. Sorry if you don't understand what wanking means. That's the best I can put it. But desire to have sexual relation. You will now sleep and be having women or men in that. They will now tell you that a spiritual husband that is coming to have sex with you and all of those things. Ogbeni, if people are having sex with you in a dream, if you are married, make sure you don't go out. Tell your husband, magmosi, when you get exhausted in the physical world with that intercourse, when you get into your dream, you will use your dream for better things. You are marriageable, you are 40-year-old, for the sake of water and mami water, go and marry. If you are not married, have a partner. Enjoy your life. You will not, when you die, this your private part will still jera ninu sare. Maggot will eat it up. All these things you are carrying there, it is maggot. All these things, maggot. Clean maggot. When maggot finishes, it turns to dust, and that's all. So I will now tell you, because you are having sexual intercourse in the gym, automatically you have spiritual husband or spiritual wife. On lie. There are better ways we know how to. There are other signs that you will tell me you are seeing that will make me know, okay, this person is struggling with their element. When you identify with a certain element and the element is sprouting up or sparking inside of you and you are not giving it attention, it becomes like an autoimmune disease whereby what is supposed to help you becomes your downfall, except we get you reconnected. A person who identifies with water, who has not done their water reconnection so that the bond can be strong, can even be affected by water. That you are having sex in the dream does not mean you are spiritual husband or spiritual wife. The people that tell you are spiritual husband and spiritual wife are the same who are saying they are your spiritual parents, but they don't want you to have spiritual husband and spiritual wife. What kind of bad people are that? They have spiritual sons, spiritual daughters, they are spiritual parents, but they don't want you to have spiritual husband and wife. They don't even want you to have spiritual children. On lie. No iro. But if I don't say lie to you, will you pay? You will not pay. That's why you go to church. That's why you got to go. So please, people, determine the value of your life and let your iron sharpen iron. Let your deep call into the deep. Move with people that will value you. Go where you are valued. Be selectively available. I say it again, be selectively, only go to where you are valued. Only go to the places you are valued. You are not for everybody. Put a value on yourself. You are more than this. Thank you very much. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Baba Yooba, on YouTube. Press the notification button and press all so that you know when we are live. You can follow our Instagram page at Baba_Yooba, at Baba_Yooba. And if you want more details and all that, access our knowledge base on www.babayooba.org, babayooba.org. You want to book for divination, whatever it is, you need understanding of nature, you want to know exactly what is going on and what you must do to regain your value that is lost or to put more value on yourself. Through Eva divination, I'm not going to lie to you. You can reach out to us on 08078384845, 08078384845, or simply just go to our website and send the email to babayooba@babayooba.org. And please, when you are looking for divination, know that there are days I call people for pre-consultation counseling. There are days I do divination purely, I don't talk to nobody. There are days we have to do the rites that are necessary, and there are days like this that I come online. So if it is day of calling and I don't get to you, please wait, I will still get to you. I will not collect your divination token without getting back to you. It might be late, but I will. But if it's an emergency, don't let me rest. Attack me in every social media platform. And please, go straight to the point. All of you people that will be calling me and telling me, I want to talk to you. I just want to have a word with you. Have a word with me for what? That the Queen of England is white, or Biden is the President of the United States. What are we talking about? I'm looking to get divination through you. Simple. We give you the procedure to follow. When you follow the procedure, you surely get a call back from me. There's no time for chit-chatting. There's no time for chit-chatting. I'm sorry. No time for chit-chatting. Am I going to be, okay, Baba Yooba, how was your day? Why are you asking for my day? Is that the problem you are facing? Just state your concern. Go straight to the point. If you cannot type, send a voice note. I will surely listen. And I will surely get back to you. But I don't really have time for chit-chatting. If you are not chit-chatting me on my direct line, which you don't have access to, if you are calling, if you are chatting that number, no, don't come and waste my time. Time is money, please. Let's not waste it. So many people that have not answered, that's because they have not gone straight to the point. What is the problem? What can we help you with? State it, and then we move on to the next thing. If you just start by saying, Baba Yooba, how are you doing? When are you going to reply me? Reply you for what are we talking about? What are we talking about? If I'm saying I am replying every messages of how was your day and all that, you think I will be there? You will even take the day away. You know how many hundreds of people that chat me per day. So it's not being rude for those who are expecting reply back without stating why they are chatting. I'm sorry. So somebody says some of us just want to talk to you and say what they want directly to you. They are not sure who is monitoring your email DMs. You are a public figure and all that. That's true. You might want to talk to me, but be factual also. Be factual. Go straight to the point. Nobody is hacking my email. When nobody is hacking my WhatsApp. Nobody is hacking my DM. We have 2FA factor for everything we do. When they do that, we'll release statements for that. But for now, let's go straight to the point. Thank you very much. So when you also come and you say on lie, you begin to put Lori Ro for me, I will just ignore you. Go straight to the point. Thank you very much. If I'm not getting to you, that's because the traffic on my DM is so high and the traffic in my WhatsApp is also high. If it is emergency, please keep saying the same thing every morning, so that imagine you have sent me a message and it has gone down to maybe number 250 in a day. Tomorrow, please, I can't answer 250 messages in a day. Tomorrow, please say Aboru Boy again. It will take you from down to the top. Probably I'll just look it and open it. WhatsApp number is 080 7838 4845. 080 7838 4845. You get my point? That's the fastest way to reach me. And you can send email. Thank you very much. And have a nice day now. Don't forget to put value on yourself. Enough of taking you for granted. But what is Babalawo, Ifa, Alufa Ijo, and the rest of them? Come up higher, please. Bye for now.